It's the Lordfish. It's the Lordfish Show.
Hi, hello, Blender fans. Today we are going to make a fruit stand. And I'm not going to say what it's for, but if you need a fruit stand in your game, then follow along and see if this helps you at least with your designs. And I'm sure it will. And we'll get some fruit carts built. I'm just going to start scaling this out a little bit. So we're just going to get a basic shape of what we're after. And before we do anything else, I'm just going to Shift D, do one of those. I just used S to shrink it down a little bit. I should explain all this stuff. I'm very sorry. I'll try to explain it all. And we're going to take this shape out of that shape, just giving it a little lip around. So we'll go to Object, Bool Tool, and Difference. And it's really easy, real simple. Okay, so now we've got what already kind of looks like a little bit of a stand. Okay. We could do this a few different ways. Maybe this is for a grocery store. Maybe it's for some vendor that goes down the streets. So let's go into edit mode and let's try looking at this a few different ways. So let's go to undo. I clicked off that. You see here, this is already highlighted. So we can go ahead and give these a few colors right now and save ourselves some headache later. So we'll go up here, we'll click on this one, and we'll click on this one. And we will go, I don't know what's a good fruit. It doesn't matter what the color is here really, because it's going to get changed once we put it in the game. But afterwards we're going to go new, and we'll get a second one maybe. We'll just make this one a little darker for kind of help us with the visualizations. Okay. So now we have two different colors, and we've started our cart. But you can go back to the other shader if you prefer, but I think I'm going to leave it in here for visualizations, but that's completely up to you. Okay, what does our cart need? If it's just going to be sitting there, this is what you're going to want to do next. If this doesn't move, and it stays in place in game, you can just grab this front face, hit I, and we're gonna make what like a little plate that we'll be able to put a second color on. So maybe if this is sitting still, you want to do it on all three sides like this together. You can hit I again to break them, and you see how it kind of makes a little frame around it. Just have to choose the right size you want, and we can always adjust the up and down to make it a little more even all around. Okay. But then you would grab this side, and then you would hit E, and then you'd hit right click, and then you'd grab this and just step it in just a little bit, and it'll do the same on the other side. But on my cart, we're going to do things a bit different. So let's go back just a little bit. I wanted to show you that way just in case that's what you're doing. You'd still have to kick in this side, but on my cart, we're going to do it a bit different. Yes. I don't know exactly what the plan is for this cart, for what Queen Fish is going to do with it in the game. So I'm going to step back, and I'm just going to play this the safe way. And I'm going to do all sides, just in case it turns out that she was going to do all of them, or that this is a mobile cart that moves around, then all sides would have an advertisement on it. So we're going to do this. It's the same thing, except for we're doing all four sides at once now instead of three, because if yours is just against a wall, you're only going to need those three. You can play it safe and do all four, but it's kind of up to you and your preference. I would probably play it safe. So I'm going to grab those two faces. So click with left click, and then shift left click to grab the second one. We'll hit E, and you can see that'll just make this face movable. We're going to hit right click to cancel it, and we're just going to step those edges in again. Remember, it'll match on the other side because we got both at once. So now we're going to do this one. We're going to hit E, and then we're going to step it in just a little bit. Oops. Could be hard to do. It's a little touchy, finicky. So that looks pretty good. Should be the same on their side. those two sides are the same. So we've got a pretty good looking little fruit card already. And we could go ahead and give these two one color maybe. And we'll make them, I don't know, red. And we'll make this one and this one a different color. And we'll make them a different color in case in game we want to give them a different texture or a different look or a different sign. You just need to be able to, maybe you want them both a different sign. You can put a different color over here and then you can select a different image for it. I'm going to do it like this, but you add as many color schemes as you think you're going to need. So here's your basic fruit stand, okay? Put your fruit in here, maybe add a for sale sign somewhere. Maybe this would be your advertisement in the front here, but I'm going to go a little above and beyond that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add some wheels to this for this fruit cart. Can be a mobile cart. It can be pushed around. Maybe it's sold in the streets. And again, I don't really exactly know what Queenfish's plans are. So I'm going to make two versions of it. I'm going to take this one before I do anything else. I'll leave edit mode. I'll make sure I'm clicked on it and I'll just shift D it. I'll right click to cancel. I'll keep it on its axis. I'll move it over there. So there's her basic cart. So now we could change this one. We could have a second one that's a little different. And if she just wants to use that one, that's fine. And if she wants the more complicated version, we can do that. So we're going to have to figure out how to make some wheels. We're going to have to figure out how to make a handle. And we might have to make a few other things that I'm not thinking of. I don't really plan these things out. I don't pre-make them. I make them with you. That way, as you see me make mistakes, you can avoid making those same mistakes. It's like a learning process for us both. And I never stop learning. I make mistakes all the time, and I learn how to fix my mistakes all the time. And I hope you can do that with me today. All right, so we're going to wheel this wheel over here. We might want to stay in that one axis. No, that's the wrong one. So this one? Yeah, that's the one. Just for we're sitting on two of the axes like that, we're able to copy one side to the other. So we're going to shift D, we're going to hit S, and we're going to scale it down until we get the size of the wheel we want. And we're going to go like this. Okay, and then we're going to shift D it again. And then we're going to grab the outer one, and we're going to hit Object, Bool Tool, Difference. Okay. Now we're going to take this inner one, and we're going to go down and down and down and down and down and down and down. Okay. And we can switch the other shader for a minute while we work on this. It might make it a little easier on your eyes, just because of the way it is. Something like this. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker like that. And then I'm going to shift A. And we will move the spear over here. And we will shrink it down until it's about the same size as this guy. Try and match it up in the middle, and we stayed on our axis, so it should be nice and easy. We're going to go up this way. We're going to slim down that way. We're going to make some spokes for our tires. Some spokes, folks. And you can make them as thin as you want. If you want to go thinner or something like that, I'll probably make them somewhere around here. Something like this. Split the gap. And that way if you want to shrink it so it doesn't overlap as much. That's pretty good. And then we can try to use some of our axis here. We can shift D. And we could do what, minus here, hopefully. We'll see. Nope, not minus there. That's the wrong one. That one's 0, so we can't do it there. So we'll do it here. Okay. So then we will shift D. And move this up. And take this one to 0. And instead, you know what? Maybe we can change this to a standard size of some sorts. Let me do this. 0.3. 0.04. 0.04. Okay, just to give it a standard, okay? I'm gonna delete that one. Delete that one. And now we've changed the size, so we're gonna have to remove this one. Shift D. And what is it down? That one. So we'll just do our 0 there. Put that one in place. No problem. Shift D. And just to save ourselves a hassle, just gonna go Z here. And then I'm gonna do what, 90? Let's see. Don't know which one it is, so we'll figure it out. Oh, that's the right one. So we'll do that. Okay. Something like this. Move it a bit around as long as it looks good. Shift D. And we will do the same on the other side like this. Let's see. Not exactly sure what we can do here, but try to figure something out and add an extra one, or we can leave it at 4. You know what? Oops, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't know I was doing that. I thought I had an extra there. Sorry, my bad. Maybe we'll just try to make these a little bit thicker. And you don't have to do this if you don't like this. If you'd rather add more spokes, I'm sure it's easy enough. I just don't want to think about it right yet. I think I'll just go like that. We'll make a really simple primitive tire. Hopefully you're okay with that. Again, if you need to add more, it's easy enough. I just don't feel like doing the math right now. My head's a little foggy. I got some stuff going on, so. Okay, well, just take this. We'll Shift D it. We will stretch it out. And then we'll shrink it down a little bit for it's smaller than the other one. And something like this. Okay, let's see. So we should be able to 0 this. So we're just gonna have to kind of like pick a spot where we think the tires would look good. We'll get all the tires in place on both sides, and then we'll try to make it work. We're just gonna have to mess with the sizes a bit. So let's do it this way. We'll grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that. Control J, and we'll zip that down. I don't know if the tires are going to fit and look good and everything. We'll have to mess around a little bit. Make sure. That looks pretty good to me. You can move it around until you're happy with it. Take the tire, Shift D it, and then we will go this way. We'll right click to cancel. We'll add a minus. Got 2 tires in place on either side. So we'll grab either tire. We'll grab the middle piece and we'll Control J it. And then we'll scoot that. Oops. And we'll Shift D, then scoot that along. Okay. And we can change back to our paint mode. That front one looks a little far. That back one looks a little too close. And then we can just kind of scoot it into place like that. Change back to our paint mode. I'm going to fix up these tires a little bit. We can join them to, actually let's join both to the cart. There we go. That'll give us some basic colors. I'm going to edit mode. All right, and we'll start coloring some things other colors. Let's go L over that, L over that. Move down here, push new. We'll do a different color here. Something like that. Doesn't matter. This isn't the color you're keeping in your game. You're just giving it a slot, remember? So L over this. Wait, make sure you clicked off everything. L, 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 L. Okay, we're going to do this one gray for whatever reason. It'll just help us with our look. All right, so those are gray now, and again, it's just a slot, so it doesn't matter on the actual color. You just need to make sure it has its own slot. I'm going to do spokes next. They need their own color. Doesn't matter what the color is. It only matters when you put it in your game. I keep saying that every time. All right, so plus new. And we'll just make it a different brown. It doesn't really matter, like that. Okay. All right, last but not least, click off everything. We'll hit L over this, L over this. And we're just doing the outer tire, L over that, L over that. And let's do, we haven't used black yet. Let's do black tires. Okay. And hopefully you like the look. It looks like a pretty much like a push cart to me. Oh, we're still missing a handle. So let's go ahead and rip together a handle. We'll get out of edit mode and we'll shift A. And okay. Let's start making a handle. What are we going to want it to look like? Start imagining it in your head. About the same width as this. Obviously not that thick. Oops. I don't want to go too far and flip my axis. That can cause issues. So here we go. And go over to here. And we're going to control B those. And then we're going to add some bevels. Okay, something like that. Looks pretty good to me. Shift D. And then S and shrink it down a little bit. Move it up. There we go. And we'll take that shape out of that shape as long as you're, actually it looks like I'm not. You got to make sure that you're going to be through this edge over here. Just make sure it just pops through. Doesn't have to be through by much. All right. It's got a nice little handle here. Do I want to change that at all? Well, we can look at trying to curve it a bit, but I kind of think it looks really good this way. So if it doesn't look good, we won't do it. Well, it looks okay, I guess. All right, let's move it in. And we got ourselves a nice little handle for our cart now. I think it looks pretty nice. I hope you guys do too. Take your time to make sure everything's exactly in place so it looks good in your game. And I think mine does. I think it looks beautiful, but it looks like it's just a hair bigger too. Let's just shrink it like that. That looks so much better to me. Go ahead and attach it to this. Control J. And then into edit mode, and we just need to change its color to something different from everything else. Do plus, new. I don't know what color to make it. We'll make it this color. Again, doesn't matter because it's just giving it a slot for its own coloring game. Looks like it's ready to go to a circus. But again, it doesn't matter because it's just for what it looks like in game. I think it looks pretty good considering has all the right edges, and some plates for signs, lots of color schemes, lots of options to make it different things in games. And again, if you've enjoyed yourself today, oh, wow. You know what? I think I might have made a big mistake here, guys. Let's grab that one. Let's grab that one. Let's go to global, local. If you're using Unreal Engine, you're probably going to want to size these things, and you're going to have everything highlighted while you do it. So make sure you got absolutely everything when you change that to local. I believe it makes a difference, but I could be mistaken too. And change that one to 0.1. And we're going to do one more. And I'm so sorry I forgot this. I always remember, but I just got some stuff on my mind right now. And so I'm a little bit distracted. I think that's good. I think we've got everything. So again, if this helped you today, make sure you take the time to thumbs up the video. Make sure you take the time to subscribe if you're enjoying it as well, because I should just be coming out with stuff like this all the time. I love helping people. I love sharing. So hopefully it's helping you in your project and moving you forward. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. I hope you join us there.